I'm Jenkinson, caravan industry expert. Welcome to my channel. Hi and welcome to a new video. Now before you say, Andy, look, this ain't a caravan, I'm not that stupid. I know, it's a boat. And before you say, well, you're going to start doing boats now? Well, no, I'm not. But this boat is a bit of a special boat. And shall I tell you why? Because I don't know if anybody out there knows who's watching the channel, especially people who know a little bit about the caravan history, but this is actually a Sprite boat. Now before you all say, well, don't believe that, it's true. In the late 50s, very early 60s, Sprite caravans started to make boats. Now, from what I can gather, they didn't make very many. And as far as I'm aware of, and I'll have to check this out, and I'll try and put this on the end of the video, and also try and put a picture of what these things look like new. These were designed by some naval architect for Sprite, and Sam Alpert had this idea of making boats. And he called them the Sprite boat. I think one of the names was like the Sprite Mistress. And a couple of other names I can't think of at the moment, but as I say, I'll stick that on the video. And it's got, as you'll see on that picture, that when I was just going round the boat, the Sprite badge. Now the thing is, this is a pretty rare boat because, as I say, they wouldn't have made very many. And this had been stored in a garage for a long time. And to be quite honest, it is I'm just having a look at it, and it is pretty good condition. It was a sailing boat. There was a mast here in the middle. Obviously, the mast isn't up for various reasons because of the height of the building that it's in. But I don't know anything really about boats at all. But to me, this boat looks pretty sound. And it's made out of all wood. There's no GRP used. And I think what the idea was to make, because boating was sort of like, how can I put it, gathering a bit of pace really. It was becoming a new hobby for a lot of people. And it was like an affordable boat. And this is what Sam Alpert had done obviously with Sprite caravans. And now he was doing it with boats. And this would have been made at Newmarket in a separate division at the factory. I mean, I've just been looking at it, as I say, everything is pretty solid on this boat. And as I say, I don't think they must have made all that very many at all. So this makes this pretty rare. And to be quite honest, why didn't it sell? Well, I don't really know. Maybe it was just at the time that the caravans were really taking off by the early 60s, and maybe they wanted a bit more room, so the boats were seen as obviously not as profitable. And maybe the idea was to come back to it at a later time. When I spoke to Sam Alpert on several occasions, he never actually mentioned the boat. So maybe it was something that he tried, and it didn't quite go as he thought. Because Samuel used to say to me, what he liked to do was try doing something, and if it didn't work, he'd give it a bit of time. It didn't work, well, it didn't work, and you'd move on to, he always used to say, move on to the next thing. And I think that's what he did with the boats. I think he made 3 models. And as I say, they can't have made very many. So this makes this a rare boat. It was left, as I say, lying around in a garage for a good number of years. And luckily it was undercover, because all this wood, obviously, is prone to rotting away if it's been left out in the elements. But it's a pretty sound boat, and it's going to get restored, I've been told. And it'll all get, I presume, revarnished and all that type of thing. And the sail put back in. But I just think it's just fantastic that Sam Alper just thought out the box all the time with his caravans and his special units that he used to make, but also going into boats. I just wonder if he had been successful with boats, if, you know, we would have seen a lot more made and it'd become more sort of popular in the boating world. But as I say, not knowing much about the boats, who knows? I know a friend of mine said that when I mentioned the Sprite boat, many, many years ago in the very early 60s, he remembers learning to sail in a Sprite boat. So, as I say, maybe many were made, maybe some weren't made. We're sort of guessing 50, maybe 100 at most. But anyway, I just thought it's a short video. I just thought it was just interesting. When I came to hear about this, I had to come and see a Sprite boat. Never seen one, only in pictures, but now I've actually seen one. And I can't wait to see this restored. I hope it's going to get restored at some stage soon. Whether I'll go sailing it or not, well, that's another thing. I haven't got my sea legs, but I think it's just great. Please keep liking, please keep subscribing, and I hope you like these variations of videos I do. You know, the new stuff, the old stuff, and all that sort of thing, the statics, the sights, and even something like this, but it's all related to caravans. See you soon, and please keep watching the channel.